any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps, anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Charles, before the game, you and I were looking at the still undefeated teams in the league, and Detroit's technically won at 2-0-1, but let's look at the 3-0 teams. The Bills, Patriots, Chiefs, Cowboys, Rams, 49ers, and Packers. I'm guessing if I ask you who would lose first, you might say Buffalo because they play New England this weekend.
I think you're right about that because that's what you look at. What's the schedule tell us? We know the 49ers are safe because they got an open week coming, so they should be okay on that one. But you would say Buffalo, even though they're at home, New England gets...
Now bad hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from...
And look at this, another fake. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here, they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Bud Dupree able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On the draw, this is Ingram. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, as the first half is winding down, as the Ravens push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. It's caught by Roberts. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. Jackson looking to throw on third. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. Able to hit his tight end, Grimble. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now it's Roethlisberger. Dancing to his left. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. Think about some of the memorable performances that Ben Roethlisberger's had over the years, and one of them came against the Ravens. He threw 6 touchdowns back in 2014 in a win against Baltimore. And actually, now that I think about it, that was on the heat. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Brandon Carr. All right, we got a second here. Let's have some fun. Let's be cheesy, because why not? So we have the 71st Emmys on Sunday.
No wine. Just straight cheese.
71st Emmys on Sunday. So let's hand out a few awards.
Okay.
Let's start with Best Supporting Actor right now in the NFL. Who are you going with?
I'm going with the Mustache Man, Gardner Minshew in Jacksonville. Because despite the fact that they're 1-2, got their first win last Thursday against Tennessee, he stepped in week 1 and set a record for rookie quarterbacks. What was he, 22 of 25 throwing in that game? 88% right out of the gate. And it's continued good play since then. And let's face it, the Mustache Mania is sweeping Duval County as well as the rest of the state of Florida.
Best actor in a lead role, I'm assuming you're going Mahomes.
You have to, because we kept saying he couldn't possibly do what he did last year. He's on a pace to...
Ingram churning. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they'll start out with great field position. At the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now this pass to Vance McDonald complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great.
And they're going to try this again. It's another fake. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down to the backfield. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And the Ravens are going to get the football back.
Okay, I got a quick tangent for us here, Charles. Let's look at the teams that have not yet won in the NFL, the 0-3 teams, the Jets, Dolphins, Bengals, Steelers, and Broncos. Who do you think is the first to get off the schneid?
Well, when you look at it, who has the open week? Who's safe? The Jets?
The Jets, yeah, they don't play anybody, so they're not going to win this week.
I think the Bengals and Steelers, they play each other.
Yep.
So I think the Steelers beat the Bengals and get off the schneid. They're the team that I'm looking at closest and having the best opportunity to get it done.
How about Denver hosting Jacksonville? A possibility there for the Broncos, right?
Definitely a possibility, but I like the way that Jacksonville comes into this game. A big win on Thursday night at home against Tennessee and riding their hot rookie quarterback Gardner Minshew, and their defense look ferocious again.
From the 36, Jackson. It's complete to Snead. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Snead's got it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Now it's Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Willie Snead there to make the grab as the Ravens push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Tucker now for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Now Roethlisberger. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out.
Ben leaves to counter on the draw. And a spin again. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Nifty footwork at the 45. And able to get this one across the 45.